Well, good morning, all. Fine Sunday morning, almost afternoon here in Vancouver. As the title said, Trudeau the Clown. Now, why would anybody in Canada think that? One but has to go back and look at his record. And even though he's only been in power for 3 years, he has a very long record, unfortunately for us Canadians. Him and Gerald Butts, uh, Gerald Butts, Trudeau, kind of together. Gerald Butts, in his own right, is a dangerous person to all of Canadians, in my opinion. Um, they just, either one of them are totally out of touch with what's happening in Canada. I mean, they talk about this grand plan, that they paint this broad picture of how wonderful life is, the diversity. Look at the people we're bringing in to add to it, and you wonder which country they're talking about, where they're at, and obviously they are someplace where none of this is affecting them. They don't see it daily, and they don't have to live it. Well, number one, both of them are millionaires, so why would they have to work? You know, they don't have to look at it. Unfortunately, the rest of us do. People like us that work for a living, I mean, actually work day to day, 8, 10, 12, 14 hours a day. So, for those out there who like Trudeau, I just ask a simple question. Why do you like him? What has he done? Quite literally, what has he done? And very simple question. Like immigration, no, that's not really doing anything for us, because that's costing us a lot of money, millions, close to $1 billion now. He just ended up Trudeau with butts. They just for the G7, $400 million for security. Now let that sink in for a minute. 400 million. That's almost a $500 million for security for the G7. And did that not go well for us? Yes. Of course, there you got the anti-Trumpers out there saying, well, we're going to start a trade war. Yeah. All you need to do is go back to what Trudeau was saying before all this started. Listen to the snide remarks he made. Because remember, he was, they were best buddies with Obama. And then look at what he's done since then. Which is what? What has he done? He's created a trade war, which we're not going to win. I mean, it's nice. You could say you're un-Canadian, you're not a patriot, you hate Canada. No, I do not like Trudeau. The man is a moron. I'm sorry. He doesn't have a clue. And unfortunately, most of the thinking is probably being done by Butts, and he's writing everything down here, say this. Because I don't think Trudeau's got the brains to be out there by himself, other than picking up the narrative, saying the same thing. Those in the middle class and those working hard to join it. Yeah, how many times have you heard that one? And actually, how true is that? It should be those who are struggling to stay in the middle class. That would be a more appropriate statement because, quite realistically, with this carbon tax, buying a pipeline, I mean, the list goes on and on. He was just charged by the ethics commissioner. Like, come on, how many times does it have to be that to be told? I mean, he gets what, $100 fine? Whoop de doo, you know, because we don't have any provisions in our constitution to basically get rid of a prime minister. I mean, quite honestly, he could almost be going to jail and quite legally still be running the country. I mean, I don't think that, well, I'd hope that would never happen, but, you know, as we're starting to see strange things are starting to transpire here, he's empowered the left wing nuts. Like realistically, how does that help us? You know, I like Trudeau because of his socks, because of the way he dresses, because of, on and on and on. And none of them are of anything of substance. I mean, brought you, motion about Islamophobia. Oh, great. I'm sure that's a major concern for those of us that are trying to buy bread and milk at the store, which the prices are going up. And of course, you're a bad person because you drive. We got to change that. And that's the narrative they're following. The whole useless cabinet they've got. That's all the narrative. And I'm just wishing people would wake up and start to see that they've got nothing. They've got these one sentence catchphrases, and that's it. They're governing by catchphrase. It's like I'm listening to a bloody advertisement 24 hours a day. $1.9 billion to the CBC. Yeah, that's you know. So what does that mean? That means now we've got the CBC is basically the liberal propaganda machine. You don't believe me? Go look at it. Look how slanted it is. I mean, they took with everything we got going on here, and you listen to the effort CBC has put behind, and CTV Global News has put behind with the fake news about the kids at the United States. Like Time posted a picture, fake news, CNN, fake news, everything they say. Canada's doing the same thing and worse. And what? Where's the outrage? It's not Trump, so that it's okay. As long as Trudeau does it, it's all right. And everybody's complicit in that. It's a lot easier to drag down another country than it is our own. We got troops headed to Mali. Now, I don't know where you sit on this. I don't even know if half you know where Mali is. Hopefully you do. If not, go look at a map. Take a look at what's happened there in the past. I mean, I support the troops. CBC wrote an article. I had a comment on it basically saying, you know what? They do not need you sitting on their backs making a matter worse. We don't need a left wing thing, oh, they dropped a piece of toilet paper on the street. They're bad soldiers. And the way things are going, that's what it's going to be. That's what's going to be happening, you know, and that's not going to do our troops any good. And Trudeau has enabled all these people, all these left wing nuts that are coming out of the university. I was reading about Jordan Peterson the other day. I mean, coming here to Vancouver. I mean, where the hell? That's what this is all Trudeau. Just bringing these guys out, saying it's okay to be an idiot. It's okay to sit there and talk to badly about people. It's okay for you to be violent because you don't agree with something. And we're gonna not only it's okay to be violent against those people, we're gonna stop them from saying things, but you can still be violent even after we stop them. That would come under freedom of speech. I mean, where are we going? I know people don't have a lot of time to look at all this stuff, but we're getting to the point where all of us are going to have to take a few minutes out of our day and start understanding exactly what's going on. It's kind of like if you see the train coming down the track and it's going to hit you, it's probably already too late to get out of the way. Yep. That takes a little bit of common sense to look back at what's going on, make a decision, say, hey, okay, well, these facts aren't adding up. What they're saying and what they're telling us isn't actually what's happening. And I can't go through, there's a ton of examples that you go through. Prime one lately is even after all the noise about the free trade agreement, which, quite honestly, does anybody really care about the NAFTA agreement? I mean, realistically, how does it affect you and me? Has it ever really helped? And I'm talking as Canadians, has it ever really helped us? Who's it helping? Our cell phone bills, milk, you go down the list, gasoline. Where is it? Oh, yeah, we're paying more. How is that possible? That's all. Most of this is coming from Trudeau lately. So we can feel good about ourselves. We are saving the world single handedly. Yes. Our prime minister looks good because he perceived to be saving the world. He's shafting us greatly, but that's okay. Long as he looks good and he kind of talks without error more than once, which, I may say once in a while. I'm not getting paid a couple $100,000 a year. Matter of fact, I'm not getting paid anything. So it's like, where do you draw the line? What does it take for people to wake up? And I know it sounds like I'm just sitting here pushing this part, but I want people to wake up, to understand, start looking. And I mean, you know, whatever that means, read, cross check your facts. And it doesn't take that long. And you will see that this man is a total idiot. And that Gerald Butts is just as bad as he is. He's pushing an agenda. That's what it is. This is all to make Trudeau look really good. Everything that man does to look really good. They had WTB network out of India did a little bit of a piece on him there. WTB News, and what it was basically like, do you really know Trudeau? And then they were showing him in Indian dress and all this stuff there, and then they showed the other side. Well, we think you don't, because this is what the man's really like, and that's from India. So other countries are starting to wake up. You go to Twitter, you take a look at what Twitter's been saying about him. You got in Creston 18 years ago, groping a reporter. Trudeau apologized. Just recently, Lisa Raitt put out a tweet about it, asking, some of us have been saying it for a while, but now it's just starting to bleed in. But you still got people out there saying, oh, well, it's alleged. He didn't do it. Well, Jesus, if you apologize, you were past the alleged point. Okay, it happened. He's apologizing. But he seems to be really good at that, obviously, because he apologizes to everybody. So, so where does it end? $4.5 billion pipeline. You happy about that? Probably not. That's our tax dollars. So what? And don't get me wrong, I'm not disagreeing. I think the pipeline should be built, but what the hell is the government doing building it? We don't have that kind of money. And I totally agree. That should be private corporations. I mean, quite honestly, all that oil is going to China. And I'll give you the breakdown. What I see. Okay, we have been shipping resources out for years: mining, lead, zinc, silver, gold, oil, gas. You can't do anything in this country anymore because it's bad, 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 and bad. Well, supposedly, and then we buy a pipeline for $4.5 billion because all of a sudden, I don't know, but we can't do anything. We can't even refine our own stuff here on a major basis to supply our own people in our own country. We're still buying oil from Saudi Arabia, from the United Arab Emirates. Why? We want to employ people. We want to get it here. We say we're so technologically smart, advanced. Well, then why don't we build a refinery here? Do it properly. That's what they just said about the pipeline. They just said, yes, we have the technology here to do it safely and smart. Okay, why don't we build some smelters here? Employ people, then sell the finished product to countries, rather than sending the raw resource over there and then buying it back. That doesn't employ us people. That helps us spend money. So why don't we mine it responsibly, like they say we can do? Drill, refine it, and then start selling it after we supply our own people. What the hell is wrong with that? And our own government admitted we could do that because we have the technology, Trudeau. But then on the other hand, it's bad. And this is what I'm saying, we can buy a pipeline because we can do it safely with the technology, but we can't build refineries, smelters, anything else. And when's the last time you've seen a mine open up? And I'm sorry for all you environmentalists out there because people need to work. We're bringing people over to Canada supposedly to fill in the job markets, which is, for because our birth rate is gone to shit. Okay, what jobs are they going to fill? We're not starting new mines. We're trying to kill the oil industry. They haven't really done anything on the renewable resources side, as far as like solar panels, solar fields, electrics. They're still building the Site C dam up here, damming off the river. And what? How, what changed? We're bringing in people here. What? So what? We can pay them $3,000 to $5,000 a month, and then what? The reason we've got a low birth rate here is because most people in North America can only afford 2 kids, if that. That's why we got a low birth rate. It's not because nobody doesn't want to have kids, it's because they can't afford to have more kids. So now we got to import them and pay it's just, you get the circle that's going on there. Don't help your own people. Let's bring people over because we don't want our own people having the kids here so we can keep our population up. Why would we do that? But I talked to my MP and that, well, okay, talked, wrote, never received, I still haven't received any answers from him, which in itself is a huge issue. So where are we at? What do we do? What jobs are these people going to take? Carbon tax. That's going to boost the price of everything. Does anybody get that? I know some of you do, but I mean, for the most part, what does it do? This is all Trudeau. And him and McKenna are yapping. Well, look at what we're doing. It's beautiful. We're saving the planet. Single-handedly, Trudeau and McKenna and all the cabinet, we're saving the planet. We're making it better. We're creating jobs. Look at the technology. And so, well, where is it? Where is this money going? Here in BC, they keep using BC as an example. Well, guess what? The carbon tax in BC goes to general revenue, the government black hole. It all falls there, and good Lord, who knows where it goes after that. Then what? Go out and try buying solar panels. Where's our production facilities? Where's the plans for the production facilities? What research are they conducting? They keep saying this. Research and development. Research, that's a really nice words. Okay. Research and development of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way down. Okay, what? Example. Where are they at? How far are we got? How many years are we out? How many people's it going to employ? Those aren't hard questions. They're the ones saying it. But I don't hear anybody, I don't hear none of the news agencies asking that question. What are we going to do? Everybody says we have to change. Well, great. Okay, then what? How many of you are going to quit driving a gas vehicle tomorrow? If you got to go to work, you got to go to the store because you can't walk there because it's too far. How many of you are going to quit driving tomorrow or the next day? Anybody? How many of you can afford an electric car? Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's where we're at. So where's our money going? This is all Trudeau. This is like within the last 3 years here. This is his policy. Everybody really think about what is going on, the direction this country is going, and or lack of. What direction are we going? We're going to be the cesspool of the world where everybody just comes here. And I'm not even talking about the illegal immigrants. Example, just quick one about immigration. Okay, supposedly we take the best and the brightest, and this is Trudeau's word, we take the best and the brightest from other countries, bring them over here. Okay, fair enough. So, number one, how does that help those countries that they're pulling them out of? How does that help those countries? We need to start getting those countries straight because we can't take everybody here. So if you're taking the best and the brightest out of those countries and bringing them here, the countries those people came from, Now they don't have those people. What are they supposed to do? Or we just keep shipping over millions of dollars of aid to short-term solutions to feed them. That's just, and nobody's talking about this. Why? I mean, it's a valid concern. I mean, he's making statements like this, and nobody's calling him to task. Why? What the hell's going on? And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this stuff out. If they've got a plan, I want to hear it. Like, we're paying them; they're our employees. You know, okay, you're bringing the best and the brightest over here. How does that help that country you just pulled them out of? We don't have the jobs here to put them in. How does that help us? You're bringing families with 5 and 6 kids here. Hell, you see walking around. There's kids here right now that are just, they still haven't, they've been here a year and a half, they still haven't learned English. So, how does that help? They basically just dropped them here and said, okay, good luck. We're just giving you money. Most of them are driving better vehicles than I am right now. None of them are working. And if you like, I can do an interview. If everybody would like that, I can do an interview with them, because there's a few of them that are willing to talk to me. Because it's not just, some of them do want to work, they're just impeded by the federal government. Yeah, go figure. Eh? That's what you don't hear in the news. It's all, oh, poor, play the violin, poor them, poor them, poor them. So how the hell is this helping us? It's not. So I would like many people to actually point out what is going on. Like, how is this helping us? You know, the carbon tax, everything I just mentioned about not having any jobs here. And it's going to get a lot worse, trust me. From now till a year from now, it's going to go like this. Don't believe me? Just keep an eye open and watch. And that's what's going to happen. Why? Because of Trudeau and Gerald Butt's policies. Because both of them are morons. And I hate to use that word, and I don't like insulting people, but Lord Jesus, we're paying these guys hundreds of thousands of dollars. And essentially, from what I see, they're ruining the country. They talk about Harper. That seems to be the go-to answer. Well, how come you're stupid? Well, Harper was okay. Well, that's a really good answer. Yes. What are you doing? We knew what Harper did. That's why he got voted out. What are you doing? Don't care about what Harper did. For 10 years, the Harper government, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and how is that relevant to asking what you're doing? But we have people out there that say, yeah, look at that. Yeah, look at what Harper did. Okay, well, and what? I didn't agree with everything Harper did either. How does that absolve the present day government from doing their due responsibility to the Canadian people? It doesn't. And to date, they haven't got a clue what the hell they're doing. A lot of nice words, you know. Well, we've got research and development on something. I'm sure it's out there somewhere, maybe. So what? So I would like everybody to go out there, do some research, answer me. What do you think? How do you see it happening? Do you see this idiot doing another term in government? If so, why? So we need to start getting out there to make sure we turn this train wreck around here. Because if this guy gets in for another 4 years, multiply that by double what's going on today, and you'll see it happening. So anyways, let me know in the comments. Good weekend.